go. We are live with the Speed Chess Championship. But let's wait for some people to join in and start the party. We have a big show for you guys today. Let's see if we are able. Oh yes, we are live. It does seem like we are live. We're live on YouTube. Let's see if we're live on Twitch as well. This is a big day. Big day. I'm gonna try to pay attention to both the Twitch and the YouTube chat. And to be honest, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that and talk to you and analyze the games, but that's the plan, at least for the moment. Hello, Kyron. I see we already have somebody in the chat. Let's see if we have anybody in the Twitch chat. That's the big one. That's the big one because it's the first time we're doing it. And it does seem like we're live on Twitch as well. So this is pretty cool. Guys, it doesn't matter where you want to watch your show. You want to watch your show on Twitch, you want to watch your show on YouTube, it doesn't really matter. We are pretty much everywhere. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to try to keep an eye on both chats, say hi to everybody as we go through the motions, as we go through the games. But yeah, today is a big day. Big day. I can only hear you on my left ear. Is that the case for everybody? Because if that is the case for everybody, I'm going to try to do something to change that. Let me know. Lefty or Larry? Okay. How about now? How about now? Is it better now? Yes, perfect. Beautiful. I'm not a lefty or Larry anymore. Excellent. Well, glad we figured that out. Before we started. Fabi Alireza is a great pairing. Always exciting, rapid games. That is very true. And both of the players, they really like playing against each other. So that makes it for very entertaining fights in general. Very entertaining battles. And look, to be honest, the way things are looking right now, this is going to be a barn burner. Where we have Fabi, who's trying to go to Paris. We have Alireza, who's already in Paris, but he's still trying to book his tickets to the semis, the Speed Chess Championship semis, which is definitely going to be a lot of fun. I have a feeling the semis are going to be a lot of fun in Paris. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for both players. Looking forward to see how that will play out. And the games are about to start. They're just about to start in about 3 minutes. I'm going to, let me just do some tweeting. It's good to be tweeting occasionally. So bear with me for a second while I do my tweeting. Speed Chess Championship. Boom. Live for the first time on Twitch and YouTube. Semifinals of the Speed Chess Championship. Cool. Okay. Bear with me for a second, guys. I'll be right back to the chat and to the games. The games haven't started yet, so we're all good. One second, guys. I'm almost there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Everything is set, ready, go. Let's see. There we go. The games have started. As I was just finishing my tweet, the game just started. And we are on. Fabi starts with the black pieces against Alireza Speed Chess Championship quarterfinals. Here we go, guys. Let me make sure I have the chat ready. Boom, I see you guys. Predictions about Anish Han's match. I'm not sure. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be following that match as well. But for the moment, this is the big one. This is the big one right now. Fabi versus Ali. Impeccable timing. Thank you very much. Yes, we do have a Rui Lopez. Hope you guys are seeing everything right. Yes, the times are there. Everything shows up nicely. Okay, that's good. That is good. Yeah, he's typical Rui Lopez. Fabi is, I would say, a specialist in the Rui Lopez. So, some sort of Morphe defense, just.com is telling me. Basically, white is trying to put some pressure on the queenside pawns. Black is trying to put some pressure in the center, taking advantage of the fact that you have some really nice pressure given by the knight, the bishop, and the rook, all looking at this e4 pawn. At the same time, you know, this d6 pawn is a bit backwards. So that's what white is fighting for as well. The backwards pawn on d6, any sort of endgame is going to be fairly desirable for white. And on the other side, you also have some pressure on the queen side for white, because black is a bit overextended. These are, let's say, the generalities about this position. Put a mash timer. Maybe I will put a mash timer as well. If they have a break, and I do think they will have a break at some point, I will put a mash timer as well. Mash timer and a score. Are you heading to Paris for any Olympic game events? No. I was in Europe for a bit too long. I was doing commentary for GCT. I was also on slight vacation, visiting my family. But yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Hello, News Navs on Twitch. I see we have some people on Twitch checking out the commentary as well. So welcome to our Twitch channel. The first time we are multi-streaming. We're both on YouTube and on Twitch, so it doesn't really matter where you're getting your action from. We're everywhere, and we will be continuing to do so for future events as well. So Alireza basically cemented this pawn on e4, this spear on e4. That was the plan all along. So now this pressure is kind of obsolete. It doesn't really matter anymore, which is what Alireza wanted. At the same time, it does seem like perhaps a break with d5 is necessary, and that's exactly perfect timing. That's exactly what he needs to do. Has Fabi read the comments? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he reads the comments. I'm sure he reads some of the comments. I read some of the comments. You know, it is what it is. You guys liked it. Some people don't. Some people do. That's the law of the land, the internet. Rook e5. I have to say, this rook on e5 looks a bit suspicious. I'm not going to lie. At the same time, there are some things to be looking forward to for black, especially this pressure on this diagonal, which can be controlled by the bishop coming to f2, controlling that diagonal. Pressure obviously on e4. So if you don't get to do anything as white, if you are forced at some point, and that some point is going to be very soon, to take on d5, then black's position is perfectly fine. If you manage to kick this rook away, either with f4 doesn't really work because I just simply take on e4. Bishop to g3 doesn't really work because of rook to g5. I think bishop g3, rook g5, bishop f4 has to be played, and then we're going to have some sort of a situation where I'm going to sacrifice my exchange. You're going to take on g5, I'm going to take back on g5, queen to f4. Okay, so this is what Alireza is trying to do. He's trying to focus on displacing this rook from e5. That's the key. If I manage to displace the rook from e5 and push myself as white e5, then Alireza is going to have a good position. What black is going to try to do, what Fabi is going to try to do, and probably he should start with bishop to d6, is to keep the rook on e5. Keep the rook on e5. 2 minutes 43 against 2 minutes and 9 seconds for Fabiano right now. Queen to f4. The problem with bishop to d6 is knight f5. Knight f5 is coming, and that comes with some consequences, because not only you have knight takes d6, but also you have knight takes h6. All sorts of nasty pressure on the king side. So queen f4, good move by Alireza. Now, the question is, how is Fabi going to respond? By the way, is queen b6 a move? Queen b6, queen takes e5, bishop d6, and where do you put the queen? Probably you can take... That's too much. No. That's too much. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. So let's wait and see. Yes, it's c squared. That's right. C squared on Twitch. Strawberry honey pie. Omega, he is alive. Any thirst traps planned out for your fans? I'm not sure. I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer. Fabi is on his way to becoming a boomer as well. So I don't know. But we are indeed on Twitch as well. So make sure you sub on Twitch. Sub on Twitch. I'm scared for Fabs. Queen to f4 was a really good move by Alireza. I'm not going to lie. I'm not liking this position as much, just for a simple fact, this bishop d6. What? So he's going for the same idea. Queen takes e5, bishop to d6, and that actually traps the queen, I think. But there must be some... queen f5. What is he doing? What was this? Okay, queen f5, bishop c8 and knight c6. I don't know. I just don't believe in it. I just simply don't believe in it. I think that's the refutation, unfortunately. Yeah, queen f5, bishop c8, knight c6, queen b6, bishop f2. I think he just missed bishop f2. This is actually just game over. I mean, it's not completely game over. You're going to take on f5, take on d8, take on d8, take on f5, and take on h4. At the end of it, you're in exchange down, and you have some chances maybe because you have the opposite color bishops. The problem is I can also start with bishop takes g5. I don't even have to take on f5. I can go bishop f2 as well. So that might be a bit more, or bishop e1. Yeah. Yeah, this g5 was a bit crazy. G5 was indeed a bit crazy. G5 was crazy. Crazy talk. It's okay. It's only first game. It's only first game. This one is going to last for a little while, I think. This one is going to last for a little while. Yeah, exchange up. Okay, there's some chances. I mean, this is not over. The problem is it's also the time situation is pretty bad. Bishop d4 is going to be met by rook to b4. Very important move. Rook to b4 try to displace this bishop. So it's not over yet. There's still some play in it. There's ways for white to go wrong. For example, right now, I think maybe some pressure on d file is necessary. Rook fd1, you cannot take on b2 very easily because of bishop c6. That's going to displace the knight, and then you have two pieces on this file. Shish kebab of some sort. Bishop to e5. Look, Fabi's fighting. Fabi's fighting. This is not a... bishop d7, good move by Alireza. He's finding some good moves. He is indeed fighting some good moves. Take on b2 now. Knight f4, what? Okay. Knight f4 is fine. The problem is take. This is just an exchange down. I don't know what the chances of survival are with just a pure exchange down for not much compensation. Fabi has a million variations running in his mind all at once. That is true. That is true. That is definitely true. That I can verify that. Thank you, moves. Great layout. I appreciate that. Yes. Glad you're enjoying it, and we're going to try to improve it as much as possible every single time we do some streaming. This is the first time also. It's kind of the first time we're live on Twitch. We're taking it a bit more seriously. We wanted to do something for the Twitch audience as well because, you know. Need eval bar. Okay. I think we can do that. We can actually put a eval bar somehow. We can actually put a eval bar. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I can add that. Okay, so now Fabi needs to just sit and wait. Alireza is going to bring his king, and Fabi is unfortunately bound to just sitting and waiting. There's not much you can do. Rook to a6 doesn't actually threaten to take on e6 because that transition will just mean the position will end up in a draw. What white is going to try to do is going to try to get the king to e8, rook to b7, and put pressure on the 7th rank, or king to e7. The thing is, the encouraging thing is, bishop takes g5. Is that a move? Bishop takes g5. No, that's not a move. Rook b7, maybe king e8. King e8. Bishop d6. Whoa! Knight g7. Knight g7. Yes, that's a draw. That's a draw. g4. That's a draw. That's a draw. F takes g4. Nice escape. Nice escape. Nice escape. Oh my goodness. Lived on the edge on that one. Lived on the edge on that one. That was a good escape. Let's keep going. Next game has started, and we have Fabiano with the white pieces. Alireza with an aggressive stance. Let me see if I can give you guys that eval bar that you also want. There we go. There we go. There we go. There's the eval bar. You got the eval bar right now. You got the eval bar. You wanted the eval bar. You asked for it. You have it. We're all about delivery around here. We're all about the delivery around here. see if I can work with the layout just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Good escape. Great escape by Fabi. And now we have an English. So right now, half to a half. The game, this is game 2. Match just started. This is the blitz portion. Supporting Fabi. Very good. You have a test tomorrow. Tests can wait. Tests can definitely wait. Guys, if you're here for the first time on Twitch, make sure you follow. Make sure you follow. We're trying to get to that 500 followers. It's the first time. First time we're streaming on Twitch. You can be a part of history. C squared for the first time on Twitch. Who knows? Maybe you're going to see Fabi doing some streams occasionally, some Title Tuesdays by himself. Maybe I'm going to be doing some streams by myself. You never know what type of content you're going to get. Maybe you're going to see some live podcasts happening. That's always in the cards. Everything is in the cards. Okay, what do we have? All right, so a lot of things have happened, but it does seem, look, black is a pawn up. Nevertheless, there's some serious compensation for it. First of all, you have to defend the rook, right? You cannot go bishop g7 because that's going to allow knight c7. Now, what I'm trying to do, rook to h8, I'm going to attack that bishop with queen to c5, put pressure on d4 as well. You cannot get off this diagonal, and probably you have to go on b8. Now, for example, at that point, I can just simply take on d4. I can go e5, opening up this. Look, I like it. I'm starting to look more and more at the position. I like it. That was my analysis, by the way. Don't tease us like that. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. It's okay. It's okay to be teased. It's okay to be teased. Oh my goodness. We also don't have all those like new follower notifications on Twitch. I'm going to work on that as well. But for the moment, this is the best we can do. Bishop d7, that's a good move. That's actually a very good move. If he would have tried to hold on to his exchange with rook h8, to his pawn, excuse me, and not lose the exchange, then he would be in trouble after, Alireza would be in trouble after queen c5. So bishop d7, good move. Knight d6, you take, I take on h6. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the position. Despite the fact that white is an exchange up, these two bishops are so strong. Such a strong pair of bishops. And what black is dreaming of, and what white should probably try to avoid at all costs, is something like queen f6 and then long castle. If you allow me to go long castle, you're in deep trouble as white, because what you want to achieve as white is keep the king in the center, try to put some pressure in the center via f4, open up the position for the rooks. Black has plenty of compensation. Nevertheless, the position remains very, very complex, I have to say. And I like the time. I really like the time. 3 minutes and 22 seconds against 2 minutes. So definitely Alireza maybe not feeling good about his position, his chances. This could be an opening for Fabi take the lead in this match. What about Olympic chess boxing? What about it? First of all, we need to get chess as an Olympic sport. And I don't even know if I really think that's a good idea to get chess as an Olympic sport. Probably a good idea, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how, because right now we have the Chess Olympics, right? Which is just for chess. If you have like the chess in the Olympiad among all the other sports, which are much more flashy from a visual perspective, then when you pit together these two sports, it might be a bit problematic. But I don't know. I don't know which one is better. Queen to d2. I don't like this retreating move. I really liked f4. I wanted to see f4 followed by e5. g5. Whoa. Whoa. g5 is crazy talk. g5 is crazy talk. He's just trying to stop f4 or at least make it be a bit more consequential, because once you play f4, you're also opening up the g file potentially for an attack against the white king. So that's what Alireza, Gucci Reza is looking for. That's what Gucci Reza is looking for. g5. Okay. What do we think, guys? Maybe f4, maybe e5 as well. By the way, e5 take, at least that opens up my bishop. Gives up a pawn, but opens up my bishop. And the bishop is so powerful after that. And then maybe just, yeah, e5, he's going for it. Maybe he's not even going to take on b7. He's just going to chill. Okay, he took on b7. Get the bishop back. Yes, that's fine. The king is going, basically the king is no longer going to safety on the queen side anymore. So this is what Fabiano is banking his hopes on. Now what Alireza is going to try to do, he's going to try to go h4, king e7, try to get an attack on the h file. Open up the h file, try to get an attack on the h file. That's basically what he's looking for. So it's a bit counterintuitive because you gave up this nice central pawn for the b7 pawn, and you're also helping black opening up this b file and getting some action for the rook. But at the same time, this bishop finally gets alive. Bishop is finally alive on g2. So yeah, Alireza is going for h4. He's trying to break on the king side, trying to put some pressure like that. Rook c1. I'm liking white. I'm liking Fabi right now. I am liking Fabi right now. I'm starting to see queen to a5, queen takes a7. You have some issues defending. You have some issues defending, and this king is still not safe. You have to actually get it to g7. You have to get the king to g7 for it to be safe. Queen a5, let's go for the pawn. If you take on b2, so queen a5, take on b2, I take on a7, and I'm getting to your king. At the same time, this rook on b2 looks a bit threatening, so I think he's going to shy away from that. Exchanging a pair of rooks would be good for white. Yes, most likely. Most likely, I think so. We have some GMs in the chat. What's up, Harshit? Yeah, Alireza is trying to go to the king side. Alireza is trying to go to the king side. Could you slightly move Alireza's overlay to show his score? Yes. Yes. Let's see. Let's see if I can do that. Is it not showing his score? Oh, you mean... Yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes. How about now? Looks good? Okay. Rook to c6, a bishop on d7. Rook has finally invaded, but this bishop d7 was a really good move. Take on h, that's fine. In fact, I think I'm going to use the h file for my attack as white. Take, no, don't take with the f pawn. King g2 next. Rook h1, queen d2. Yes. King g2, why not? King g2, probably rook h8 is going to come. Or king g2. What does he want actually after king g2? What's the plan? I like that king on g2. This bishop on e4, this bishop on the light squares really protects everything. 6 seconds on the clock. He's probably going to go for rook h8. Rook h8, rook h1. I'm not afraid. What? Rook c1? Ah, he's trying to go. Okay, rook h1. Let's go. Take. Yes. There's some mates coming. Check. Queen a6. Okay, I like this as well. Bishop f8. Good move. Take the pawn. Why not take the pawn? Yes. Very good. Oh. Queen b7. Good. Rook h7. Queen c7 maybe to put some pressure on e5 as well. The a-pawn is running. The a-pawn is running. Take that. Why not? Yeah, simple. Ah, shoot. Check. What can we do? Check and then check on b8. Yes. Check on a8. Keep pushing, right? Keep pushing. a6. Rook h1. What is rook h1? Bishop e... No! Bishop c6! Come on! No. Come on. Bishop d7 was the only way out. Oh, that's a miss. That's a miss. I cannot believe that happened. Come on. Such a winning position. The only idea of black was to... It's not over yet. It's not... It kind of is. Oh, man. That's... painful. That was painful. Okay. Here we go. We keep going. We keep going. That's a tilt-inducing loss. That is unfortunately a tilt-inducing loss. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? What am I doing? Ah, there we go. We're back. That was a tilt-inducing loss. Holy smokes. I did not like that. I did not like that one bit. Nevertheless, game goes on. 1.5 to a half right now. Alireza in the lead, but nothing is lost. We've seen some glimpses of genius from Fabi. That was actually a very well conducted game. Unfortunately, time pressure makes a fool out of all of us. All of us. Sometimes. Firouzja is tough to bring down. I'm not gonna lie. This was Fabi's game to win or lose. I mean, Alireza obviously put everything he had into it towards the end, laid all the traps that he had, and unfortunately Fabi fell in one of them. But it was definitely Fabi's game to win or lose. Yes, look, it's brutal. It's not great to start like this, especially when you have, but it's only one game, guys. It's only one game, no problem. Chill, everything is good. 1.5 to a half right now. Only 2 games have been played. Plenty more. If you want to see Fabi's face, well, I mean, chess.com does that on YouTube. Chess.com does that on YouTube. So that's probably on the main YouTube page, Twitch page of chess.com, and you can see both of their faces. But right now, this is the Fabi feed. This is the Fabi channel feed. That's a pawn, by the way. I get it. You have some compensation, but that's a pawn. Also, wait. Can I just... he wants to go knight g6. So knight e4, he wants to go knight g6. But then look, that's an exchange, but it doesn't really matter. This bishop is a monster after that. I would take on e4. He played d5, unfortunately. He didn't take on e4, and knight f5 came. Let's give up the pawn back with knight b3. Give up the pawn back, but eliminate the bishop, the light square bishop. And then we're going to be able to play with the dominance on the light squares. Dominate with your own bishop. I think Fabi has to blunder a queen to complete his winning ritual. Yes. What you mean, I would assume, is him generally blundering rooks and then coming back. Yes, he does that. He has a tendency of occasionally blacking out and just blundering a big one. Blundering a big one. Well, this is the 5+. I think this is 5+1 or something like that. Is it 5+1? It's 5+1, right? 5+1 or 5+2, then we're going to get a 3+1, if I'm not mistaken, and a +1+1. That's the format. So we're not going straight to 1+1 after this one. First is 5 minutes, then it's 3 minutes, and then it's 1 minute. He does like to blunder the rooks. Good morning. I'm Firecracker. And everybody that's new to the Twitch channel. The new and for the first time live Twitch channel of C Squared. The C Squared Twitch channel. Dedicated to everything C Squared. Streams, podcasts, live stuff. Okay. How are we doing? How are we doing? I'm trying to understand. I see these pieces nicely pointed out against Black King, more or less, which worries me a little bit for Fabi. Nevertheless, he does have some serious pressure. He is an extra pawn up. Now, bishop g3 is aimed with the idea to play e5. And now finally the knight on f5 is protected by the rook. So you have to do some... I don't like this rook e6. No. I just don't like it. It feels a bit too passive. I want to see knight b3. I really don't like this bishop set up on this diagonal. I understand I'm going to give the pawn back. I want to give the pawn back. I'm okay giving the pawn back. At some point I will have to do it no matter what. Like at some point this knight is not going to go back to c6. If you go back to c6, you lose after queen takes a4 basically. This, okay, the idea of rook e6 obviously is to meet this with rook g6. You cannot do that right now. Rook g6, that would mean discovery against the queen on d7. That would mean game over. Knight takes h6 would finish it off. But maybe just defend the queen first. Rook to d8 and then, or bishop c6. Yeah. I like this move. Bishop c6. The point is defend the queen first. And now rook to g6 is a real threat. Rook g6 is a big move coming up. I'm starting to like Fabi. I'm saying that a lot, but this time I feel like Fabi has a good position. Rook to f2, rook g6. Let's get in. Let's get in. Rook g6. Where do you put the queen? My guess is queen e2. You have to go back. He might try to stay on h4, but if he does stay on h4, I have a feeling this queen is going to become extremely vulnerable to something. I don't know what, but something. This queen looks a little bit trappy. You know, it's almost trapped on h4. But I think he's going to want to stay active. I don't think he's going to go back. Which might be, in fact, good news for Fabi. Fabi's using a lot of time compared to Alireza. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Right now. The previous game, he was up on time. So it kind of swings back and forth. Knight to b3. Is he going to take on b3 or is he going to go rook to d1? Rook f1, knight g5. Yeah, knight b3 doesn't give the pawn back anymore. At least that. At least you get that. Knight g5 also inching closer. Catching up on time. That's a good thing. That's good news. Good news. Yeah, f7 is the big problem. Is the big pressure point in Black's position. But right now the knight on g5 is doing a tremendous job defending that. And also, be careful. Be careful. At some point, if the bishop leaves, some knight f3, knight takes h3, with a rook on g6 could become very dangerous. My guess is that white needs to switch diagonals. You cannot say queen h5. Yeah. There's rook e8. What? But now h4. This is the problem. Wait. Yeah, h4, knight e6, go back. Go back, knight e6. Don't go knight h7, right? I'm not really sure what he's thinking about. Yeah, knight e6 has to be played. Black right now, it's a bit stuck. So it does seem that white more or less solved his issues. This queen was a bit, didn't really know where to go. The knight on g5 and the rook coupled with the rook on g6, they definitely looked threatening. Right now, the knight on e6, very defensive. Rook on g6, kind of stranded. So I'm not a big fan of what happened in the last few moves. And I don't see the plan for black. I think d4 has to come. I think d4 has to come. Open up. At least, look, psychologically, you want to play d4. The problem is d4, lots of consequences. Because this knight coming to d6 is a bit problematic. Incoming sauce. I don't know what that means. But yeah, that's the problem. You want to play d4. You really want to play d4. But I'm not sure I like it after knight c4. Take on c3, take on c3. Can you take here? I have no idea what's happening. This comes with some consequences. You took a pawn, but this bishop b1, bishop takes g6 is coming. So knight e3 with an attack on f7 and bishop b1 might be problematic right now. Alireza will probably go to d6. I think this is what he wants. He really wants to go to d6. I think he's going to go to d6. I don't know who has the easier play right now. If you go to d6, I take, you take back with the pawn and then knight d2. You don't have time for that. So Alireza might actually be in trouble if he doesn't find knight e3. Yes. Take bishop b1. Whoa. Queen takes c3. Take knight d2. Yes. Knight takes h6. Okay, Alireza is going all in. Alireza is absolutely all in. Take, king h8. And no. Why? Why not rook takes h6? Still not over. Take on d6, knight d2. You have to go knight d2. You have to go knight d2. You have... No, not knight d4. Rook f7 is a problem now. Too passive. Just simply too passive right now. Knight d6, d7. Yeah, this is not looking good. Really, 2 games after... Oh, rook f7. Bishop e8. Bishop e8! Rook f6. It's still not over. Rook d2. Queen d2. Wait a minute. King h8. Oh my goodness, this bar is swinging back and forth. I have no idea what's happening. Bar is swinging absolutely. Terrible. Very upset right now. Very upset right now. Very upset right now. Look at this bar. Just look at the bar. Okay, the rook wasn't hanged. Hung. The rook wasn't hung. Can you say? Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, queen d5. Okay, rook e2, knight d4. Okay. I guess you have to deal with threat on the 7th. You have to exchange a rook. You have to exchange a rook. You have to go rook d7. Okay, what's happening? Do we have a break right now? Let me see if the situation looks like a break. Because we're not getting extra gains right now, so I think we have a break. Okay. Five-minute break, I think. 5-minute break. 5-minute break. Okay. Four more minutes. Not great. I'm not gonna lie. This was not great. Not a good start. Not a good start at all. 5+1 continues. There are still going to be games played in 5+1. This is not the end of the 5+1 section. But 2.5 to a half, not a good start, especially when, in fact, I think I could say that he probably had 2 winning positions. The second one, completely crazy. I'm not going to lie. Look at the bar, just going up and down, up and down, up and down. He was, let's say, more losing than he was winning. So you can draw some conclusions based on that, and some consolation perhaps. But even at the end, I mean, check. First of all, why not king h8? After queen f7, why not king h8? He probably forgot that the queen is defending h6. Actually, for sure, he forgot that the queen is defending h6. Rook f2, queen d5. Yeah, cannot disconnect the knights. Knight to d4 doesn't actually do anything outside of just simply threatening that rook. This was a slight panic moment. You cannot disconnect the knights. The knights are nicely protecting each other. What you have to do, and this was not easy, by the way. This is really, really tough. You have to go rook to d7. What he thought was that after rook e2, Alireza is threatening rook takes e6, and then queen takes g7 or queen h7, depending if you take with the knight or the queen. But the problem is, this rook taking on e6 is not actually a threat because you're losing the pawn on g2 with mate. So what you have to do is deal with the pressure on the 7th, go rook d7, get rid of the rook on e7. You cannot take on e6 because of queen g2. So that's the situation after the first stage of play. Not the first section, just the first stage of play. Alireza leading to a half, but Fabi needs a bounce back. Fabi needs a bounce back, and look, the games, they look good for Fabi. He was doing well. The thing that he has to adjust right now is his time management decisions in the time trouble situations. That's the key right now, and I'm sure he's going to be able to try to do that. Okay, I will be right back. Give me just 1 second. We have still a few minutes of break. We have, in fact, 3 minutes. No, not 3 minutes. I think we have a bit less than a minute of break. Yes, minute break left, and then we'll get back to some more games. I'll be back. Give me just 1 second. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I'm just gonna add a quick little thingy right now. That was hard to watch. Fabi needs to cool down. He's had a good position, so I believe there is a chance. Correct. But before we get into that, before I add anything, we have a new game. Fabi with the white pieces, repeating what he played in the last game with the white pieces, where he got a good position. Now we're looking at this sort of transition from the English to some sort of a d4, but a very strange d4 with e6 and g6. You almost never see this because, you know, you're being told as a new student of chess, don't open up the bishop on both sides. Open it up on one and then deal with the other later on. Definitely not like this. But Alireza has his own ideas in mind, which makes sense. He did not like what he got after the first game, where he started with h5 and he took a very aggressive stance on the king side. Didn't really pay well for him. In the end, he swung that match in his favor, that game in his favor, but the opening didn't go his way. So this is what he's trying to avoid. Very complex situation right now. Very complex situation. Let's keep it up, guys. Let's keep it up. Boom, boom. All right, bishop to g4. Fabi taking a bit too much time right now in a fairly innocuous looking position. There's not that much happening. I'm not sure if there's a big decision that he needs to take. I guess he needs to address this bishop takes f3 and some knight takes d4 ideas. There's some things to address. Knight to e5. I like this move. I like this move. Make a board smaller and add a video of your mouse. Why would I add a video of my mouse? What? What does that have to do with anything? Why would I add a video of my mouse? I'm not sure if that's... Is that something that's been happening on Twitch or YouTube? Mice videos? Anyway, knight e6. This is the typical knight you want to have in this type of structures for black. White is going to try to do something on the king side, perhaps. Maybe a minority attack, though at the same time, I'm not sure the minority attack is going to go anywhere. I think what he wants to do is either go h5, though I don't think he's ready for that. h5, g5 might be problematic. The knight on f4 looks very nice. I have a feeling black is going to try to take that. Yes, he's going to try to eliminate that. And now what Fabi needs to do, focus on the minority attack. Let's get the minority attack going. Board is tiny. I don't think the board is tiny. Board looks fine to me. Okay, all right. Getting some Okay, stop the bleeding right now. Maybe make a draw, maybe put some pressure. Fabi is not really the type of guy to just make a draw or quiet things down. He will try this position, though I'm not really sure who has the easier endgame right now. It could be black. It could be black. This knight on d6 is such a powerful piece, and you can always have the option of just exchanging or forcing the exchange of the knight for the bishop on d3 with knight d4. So, and you also have the breaks as black. This is the type of endgame where you start looking at the breaks. Who has the easier breaks? Black has g5, can try the break on the king side. White will have the option of perhaps trying to break on the queen side with b3 or b4. Problem is, again, you open up the b file, knight on d6 does a tremendous job defending b7. So, at the end of the day, it is black who has the breaks in the position. A bit easier to play for Alireza, though the position should be very close to equality. That's exactly what I was saying. At some point, knight e4, I have the option of just simply trading on e4. I miss chess bomb. A lot of people enjoyed chess bomb. That is true. A lot of people enjoyed chess bomb. But unfortunately, right now, chess bomb is no longer. Chess bomb is dead. I'll look into it. Look. I'm taking any feedback. I'm taking any feedback very seriously. So I cannot say that what you're saying doesn't make sense. It does make some sense. But this is the layout we have right now. No reason to discuss it that much. At the same time, look, I get it. You want a bigger board. Everybody wants a bigger board. The board size, the size is fine. Size is good. Size is good. Okay, rook a3. Look, from the time expenditure right now, it does feel like Alireza doesn't know how to continue. Wait a minute. Take, yeah, you're forced to take with the king. You cannot take with the pawn because rook h8, rook takes h8, and rook takes a4. So you lose the pawn. I'm not sure if Alireza wanted this. This is a break in his pawn structure. This is definitely good news for Fabi. Right now, it's Fabi who can play for a win. Finally, it's Fabi who can play for a win. Still very close to equality, but Fabi has better chances of maybe getting more out of the position. Maybe getting more out of the position. You're all good. You're all good, Andre. All good. Okay. Rook c3, h5. Rook h4, block the h-pawn, do not allow h4. That is a good transition for white. At some point, black is going to try to go knight e4 back. And the question is, yes, Fabi right now says no. We're not trading off the bishop for the knight anymore because I have the target for my bishop. I can go bishop e2 and target the pawn on h5. Finally, something to do for this bishop on d3. Size matters, yes. Everybody knows that. Get the pressure. Get the pressure going. Yes, rook c1, rook h1. Easy, easy. Don't lose any time. There's no threats. There's nothing happening. This rook e8, he's not threatening anything. Go rook h1. Put the pressure on him. I think he's going for a3. He might actually go for a3, huh? No, king g6, okay. So he wasn't actually going for a3. f3 is an option. f3 is an option. b5, that's going to weaken the pawn on c6. 14 seconds for Alireza. Definitely a big time advantage for Fabiano. This could be it. a4. A4 stops b5 as well. It's a great move. You played bishop c2 for a reason, to support a4. Great transition for Fabiano right now. Rook to b1 is a threat. Bishop d1 is a threat against pawn on h5. Alireza in big trouble right now. Rook to b1. Transition. Get on the b file. Get on the b file. You've done your job on the h file. Get on the b file right now. Am I a GM? Yes. Yes, I am indeed a GM myself. 4 seconds for Alireza. By the way, Alireza has been really taking his time in this one, dropping on the clock severely. Do not, look, Fabi, don't take too much of your time right now. The position is still a5, big move. Knight f6, okay. Rook b1, rook b6, and then a6. That's it. That's it. Huge opportunity right now. Rook to b1, and then a6, and then rook b6. a6 and rook b6. a6, very good. Rook b6, yes. He's getting in. He is getting in. Rook to b8, rook f4. Or bishop to b3. Stop the invasion of this rook. Bishop b3, great move. Bishop takes d5. Bishop takes d5. Nice. He spotted it. This is it. There's no, yeah. Nice bounce back for Fabiano. Nice bounce back for Fabiano in game 5. 2.5 to 1.5. We're back to 5+1. 5+1 continues. We have a game. We have a match. We have action, ladies and gentlemen. We have action. It's action time, baby. It's action time. There's only Spanish happening right now. We have a bunch of Rui Lopez's from Fabiano. Fabiano looking to sell his course. Sell his chessable course. So if you want to play the Rui like Fabiano, go buy his course. Play the Rui like Fabiano. Course is on chessable. What? Bishop e3, take on d4, bishop g5? Just sit. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is some deep prep by Alireza, but Fabi just picks up the pawn. He's like, I'm probably good. I've probably seen this. I've probably addressed it in my course. Take d5, queen h5. This is some deep side preparation. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what's happening. I do not know the ins and outs of this position. Queen h5 has to be played. You have to put pressure. You have to try to get the checkmate. Yeah, obviously you cannot go castle, g6, but Fabi just blitzes out his moves. Alireza must be worried right now. Alireza, if he doesn't know exactly what he's doing, must be worried because there's a chessboard course on this, and Fabi has spent probably the most hours out of any human alive right now in this position. That's my guess. My guess is that Fabi has analyzed this position more than anybody in the whole world. Take on b5, a5. Take on c3. Oh my god. I mean, this is complete mess. Take on a6, take on b2. I have no idea what's happening. Take on b7, take on a1. Fabi still blazing out his moves, probably trying to remember his prep. Take now a5. The bishop is open. The a pawn is running. And I can still go castle. Next move. If I were be a betting man right now, given the time situation, Fabiano almost 2 minutes on the clock, I would say, despite the fact that the engine might be saying that white is slightly better, I would say from a practical perspective, it's definitely black's game right now. It's black's game. Black's game right now. Chava, I'm confused too. Yes, I am confused as well. And anybody that doesn't know and hasn't analyzed this position with an engine by his side or her side would be confused right now. And that's exactly the situation for Alireza. Because I'm pretty sure maybe he's seen this position before. But if he has, he's done it a long time ago and he doesn't remember all the details. So Fabiano in pole position to maybe equalize the score. Long castle. You cannot take on f7 because of rook to f8. And then some pressure on f2, which is going to be tremendously painful to deal with. Alireza plays better with low time. Nobody plays better with low time. Like comparatively, you can make the case that Alireza plays better than somebody else. In this case, perhaps you're thinking of Fabiano. Plays better than Fabi when both players have low time. But nobody in the world plays better with less time than when they have more time. It just simply, it's simple math. It's a simple math equation, Less time you have for your decisions, which is going to impact your play. Knight b3, queen takes b5. Don't take that pawn. He's looking at knight takes a5. Even though queen takes b5, knight d4 is not something that I really like, or rook to b1. I'm starting to see this pressure on these two files intensify. Knight f5. Good move. Excellent move by Fabiano. Bishop takes f5. Queen takes f5. Knight to d4. Try to deal with the pressure on this diagonal. Must be the way to go, but look, I have the two bishops. If I'm counting correctly, I am a pawn up as black. Queen f4. Queen f4 is a move. Queen f4, g3 though. Do you want to provoke g3? Do you not want to provoke g3? I'm not really sure. Queen f6, if you don't want to provoke g3, is a move as well. Grishuk would like to know your location. Yeah, as I was saying that, about not being able, there's no human alive that plays better with lower time on the clock. Grishuk popped into my head. Yes, he might be, look, he might be the only one. He might be the only one that plays slightly better when he doesn't have time on his clock. Very tense games. Very tense game, this one. I mean, extremely close. Look at the bar. Extremely close. And in such crazy position. I mean, look, this is... You know, when these two players meet, you're going to have some crazy talk on the board. Rook e8. You cannot take on h7 because of rook h8. h4. Rook e4. Actually, position that rook on e4. Very nice. You still cannot take on h7 because of rook h8. This is a great move by Fabiano right now. Big threats sometimes. Wait, knight g5? Something tells me take. Something tells me there's some tricks in the position. Yeah, take on d4, take with the bishop, rook a2 to defend the pawn on f2, and then just bishop c3 and push the pawn. Bishop c3 defends a5, or even bishop b6 back. So sacrifice the exchange. Sacrifice the exchange. And especially given the time situation. 30 seconds on the clock for Alireza. You have to complicate matters. Sacrifice the exchange. Rook takes d4. Bishop takes d4. Alireza doesn't have time to take on a5 because f2 is hanging. Has to defend with rook a2. And then just go back. Push the pawn. And get the victory with the two bishops. You have no problems with the king. You have, in fact, no issues in the position whatsoever. Go for it. Go for it. Rook takes d4. Let's see if he plays it. We might, yes. The plan is to do this, and we're going to do it on Twitch and YouTube as consistently as possible. I'm doing a lot of commentary for the big events as well. Not on C-Squared, but usually for the Grand Chess Tour. I'm doing the next couple of tournaments. I'm doing the Rapid and Blitz and the Singfield Cup. So I'm not going to have time to do commentary for those. But as the channels grow, we might be able to start finding people to do commentary for these big events. Rook e8. He decides, whoa. Queen h8. Wait a minute. I think Alireza missed that. Queen h8 is a nice move, by the way. h5. Rook g8. Rook g8, rook g7. How do you defend? Yeah, rook g8. Great move. I think Alireza is in trouble. Well, for example, this year I'm doing the GST, but I've also done American Cup. Candidates was obviously impossible to do it because I was there with Fabi. US Championship. I'm going to be doing commentary for that. So it's not only the GST events; it's actually a lot of tournaments that Fabi's playing. I'm doing commentary for, but we will try, again, as the channels grow, to find people to do this type of things. Bishop takes d4, queen takes d4. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Queen takes a1, big threat. Rook takes g3, big threat. If you go rook a3, queen d1 followed by d4. I think that's his idea, right? Queen c5? Not sure about that. But d4 is still coming. Yeah, go d4. Yeah. But knight f6. I have a feeling queen takes f5 works right now. Queen takes f5 and then just put something. Rook h6, queen h1. What's happening? Queen takes f3. Yes. Just exchange everything. Rook d8. King up. King c8. That's okay as well. d3. Go for d3. d3. d3 is the easy way. No, not rook g8. Rook g8 is fine. Rook e8. Yes. And now d3, d2. d3, d2. And push the pawn. Yes. Push the pawn. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. d1. No problem. f7. Rook f8. Oh, check. Check and pick up. Yes. Nice bounce back. 2.5 to 2.5. We have a match. And the 5+1 continues. Fabiano back with the white pieces. Oh, this is nice. Is Fabi playing in the Olympiad? Yes. Fabi's definitely playing in the Olympiad. Will be looking to lead the American team to glory. Back to even, baby. Back to even. And the English opening continues. Fabi did some prep in this English opening. Play the Rui like Fabi. If you want to play the Rui like Fabi, you gotta buy the chessable course. Yes, I played at the 2018 Olympiad. G3, put the bishop on G2. Very complicated position, very complicated middle game. Again, it's all about the prep. It's all about the time you spend analyzing this position beforehand. And I'm always, look, I know how much Fabi works. I know how much time he spends on his preparation. So it's very difficult for me to even consider that somebody else is doing more work based on just how much I know about the type of work that goes into his prep. So in the opening phase, I'm always going to think Fabi has the upper hand. Castle. Rook b1. Queen a4. You can also just simply go castle. At some point, black is going to try to go bishop h3 and exchange the light square bishops, which is fine. Yeah, queen a4, good move. Rook takes b7 is a big threat. So you have to do something. You have to attack my bishop. You have to try to go bishop h3. And by the way, after bishop h3, I'm not forced to exchange the bishops. Bishop h3, I can just simply get out. Bishop e4, we're not trading. And rook takes b7 is still a big threat. How do you defend against rook takes b7, in fact? This might be a big problem right now for Alireza. He might be in some sort of practical danger. If you have to start playing moves such as knight d8 or knight d7, yeah, knight d8 I actually think is the only move to try to get off this pin and also defend the very important b7 pawn. If you have to make this type of moves, this position is not easy. From a practical perspective, especially knight d8, you see queen takes a7. Fabi has the upper hand right now. Fabi has the upper hand right now. Don't forget, guys, here for the first time on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. We'll have all the bells and whistles set up for the next time. All the, you followed. Thank you very much. But you know it. We appreciate that. That's the best way to help the channel grow. Make sure you press that follow button on Twitch. We're striking to get to 500 followers ASAP. That's the plan. And you're the one that can help us. So do so. Bishop h3 castle. I wanted to go. I wanted to see bishop d4. I wanted to see bishop e4. I didn't want to see this trade. Bishop f. No, but bishop e4, f5, bishop d5. That's a check first. A check first, you have to go king h8 and then rook takes b7. So that would have been, in fact, just losing for Alireza, for black. b5, can you take? No, you cannot because of rook b6. Queen goes back to b3. Bishop e3. Now it's a very not simple position because it's anything but simple, but I would say it's very even. It's an even position right now. Even match, even position, close to even time. This is a very, very tight match. Very competitive match right now. Yes, and that's exactly why he didn't do it, Patrick, is because he was concerned about his king staying in the center. Queen a2. Keep the queen on this diagonal. Try to have ideas of knight g5 in case black tries to run. And also, you don't really want to allow him to go f5 that easily. So I think queen a2 is important. Stay on this diagonal. Queen c2 also, it feels a bit natural. What? But why? Okay, he's saying that you cannot take on a3, which is probably correct because queen a2 and you're going to have some problems with this two pieces stranded on the a file. But the problem is with queen a2 is that I can go f5. And that might be problematic. That might be problematic. Yeah, queen a2, he's going to go king h8 and knight g5. I guess this is what Fabi wants. The problem is queen a2, king g8, king h8, knight g5. I can just simply go h6. Here, h6 as well. Queen a2 is not such a big threat. King h8, and you cannot go knight f7 because the knight doesn't do anything. Gets stranded on f7, and in fact, you just simply lose. So what you have to do right now is perhaps give a check first. He really doesn't want to give that check. He wants to keep the queen on c2, maybe for a good reason. Where do you put the knight? Knight d2. Things have turned a little bit. Things have turned a little bit. Now black is getting the attack. Now black is getting to be the one that's creating the weaknesses in the opposing camp. And the king, to be honest, it's a bit feeble on g2. You don't have the firepower to try to get to it, but it does look a little bit annoying. And this knight finally has some ideas. Wants to go to c4. Yeah. What's up, Fisher Random Chess? The channel is working. Great to see you. Cheers. The channel is indeed working. a4. Cool move. The big question is rook takes a4, queen takes a4 probably was his idea. Knight to c4. Bishop to d4, c5. Where do you put the... Yeah, no. Something went wrong. In fact, c5, where do you put the bishop? Yeah. Yeah, this is bad news. This is bad news. We need a miracle, guys. Right now, we need a miracle. Un miraculo is needed. Hope you guys enjoy my Spanish as well. Bishop e3, the problem is rook takes e3. You're not even losing a pawn, you're losing a piece. You're losing a full piece right now. So yeah, things went really wrong. Really wrong. You cannot take on e3 back with the pawn because knight takes e3. That's a very nasty fork. Not much compensation is the problem. Like usually you get some compensation, not so much right now. Because black has such powerful control over the light squares. I've seen swindles before, so anything can happen. But this one is a very difficult mountain to climb back from. Get a king off. Get a king off this. Yeah, I mean g4 is a big problem. Okay, at least look. He played g5. He made some concessions. Maybe there's something to play for. Now you move this rook, queen g6 is coming. This type of concessions, you opened up your own king a little bit. So I get to hope a little bit. I get dream. I get to build this dream in my head that maybe something is going to give. Maybe there's hope in the position. It's still bad. It's still pretty bad. Excuse me. Haven't done a solo commentary in a long time. So now I get to occasionally lose my voice. Look, get it down to the last few seconds. Rook a5, okay, go back. Get it down to the last few seconds. Rook c1, put some pressure. Rook a1 is fine as well. Bishop g7. Alireza is maintaining control. Alireza has found a way to maintain control. Rook c1, knight takes d4, I guess. I don't see what can be done. Yeah, only 2 seconds for Fabi right now. Rook takes d4 and there's not much hope. Okay. Tough loss. This was a tough one and I have to say a very crucial one, but the 5+1 continues. The 5+1 continues, guys. This is still not the end of it. And we see another Rosolimo. Another Rosolimo where Fabi has studied. Fabi knows what he's doing. Thanks, Freshwater Sipper, for following. Sosi, Ali, Sal, Mr. Jesus, no idea. Git Blame just followed. Since we don't have the bells and whistles, I'm going to call out people that follow on Twitch. Jorm, SP, Anarchist, Philip, Peace, Kind Raccoon, Captul, Leo, Master Zam, Salson, Blackety, Jachto, Robbie, Brohan, Demigod, New Navs, Galicia, and a few others. I'm sure I missed. I see AKFNC something, 19 Glot something. You guys have some crazy names on the Twitch. Anyway, back to the action. Quick detour on that one, and now we're back to the action. What do we have right now, guys? Ruy Lopez, very complex. White is trying to do something involving knight f5, trying to get some sort of an attack going against the black king, some pressure going, the typical Ruy Lopez pressure on the king side. But black is very much ready for it. Very much ready because you have these two knights protecting the king. You also have the two knights potentially trying to do your own stuff on the king side. including knight f4. The problem is with the bishop on c1, knight f4 generally is met by bishop takes f4. So that type of structural transition is generally favoring white. Take on e5, take on e5. Take on d8. Okay, I cannot say that I'm very much upset about this endgame. Though, again, there is some pressure for white. And the simple reason for that is that you're overextended on the queen side. Black is overextended on queen side. This pawn on c5, if it would be on c7, life would be very good. With the pawn on c5, you get to deal with this annoying pressure on this diagonal. Oh yes, he's definitely using his dark archangel. He is definitely using dark archangel. That's why you're seeing so many Ruy Lopez's. He's ready to unleash. He hasn't played it as much. Now he's ready to unleash. What is a Twitch username? All sorts of Twitch usernames. All sorts of stuff. Okay, rook d1. Very equal, the position right now. You can just like exchange and then go king to f8. Actually, perhaps you can just go king f8 right now. What's the problem with king f8? Maybe take, and b4 is what Alireza is trying to do. So maybe you should keep this rook on the c file and perhaps exchange and then go king f8, b4. Probably you're ready to mate that with rook to c6, defending the bishop on b6, threatening to exchange, and that's going to force a reaction from white. So b4 is the big idea that white has in the position. It's all about this pin. It's all about trying to take advantage of this pin. But I feel black has enough resources, defensive resources, to deal with that. What worries me is that Fabi is spending a little bit of time right now, meaning he's not very comfortable with the position. Mustafa, thanks for following. Take. Let's go, king f8. Simple move. Simple move. Why would he be worried about king f8? Ah, maybe because of rook d6. Yeah. Look, there is some pressure. There is some pressure for white. Alireza has some pressure right now. In fact, it's the more I look at the position, the more annoying it becomes. Because I think, first of all, knight d6 is a big threat. Knight takes c5 might be a threat as well. Knight takes c5, knight e7. That type of transition where you give up two pieces for a rook and a couple of pawns because you're taking c5 at the end of it as well. So there's some serious pressure coming from white right now. You have to go bishop c7 to defend against knight d6. Bishop c7, no knight d6, and at least you're threatening to take on e4. I'm not liking the looks of it. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Knight takes e5, you cannot take because of knight e7. You have to move the rook. Rook e8 perhaps. I think rook e8 has to be played. Bishop d8 is a very strange move. Rook to e8. What's the big problem? Maybe knight c6? Is that what he's worried about? Okay, rook e8. That's a good move. That is a good move. That is a good move. Now Alireza needs to find something, because if you take on g6, then things will get simplified very quickly. So Alireza needs to find some precise moves if he wants to maintain his edge. What worries me is the time. What worries me, and it worries me quite a lot, is the time. 2 minutes, 20 seconds for Alireza, 40 seconds only. Okay, take, we exchange this. Maybe he takes on c5. Obviously, taking on c5 would be really bad. Rook e1, king h2, bishop c7. And that traps. Pins the rook, wins the game. He's not going to take on c5. King f1 is a bit problematic. King f1, b4. c4, b3. You have to go for it. You have to go for the attack. Try to put that pawn on b3. Try to create something. Rook a6. Okay, bishop c7. Now I'm starting to see the end of the tunnel, let's say. I'm not really sure what he's thinking. Bishop d8 is definitely not a move. Yeah, bishop d8, rook a8 would have been problematic. You still cannot take on c5 because you get checkmated. Do they play rapid after this? No, they played 3+1. So right now is 5+1. Next session is 3+1. And they're going to end with a 1+1 bullet section to finish it off. Yeah. Ouch. This was, I think, missed. It's not over yet. It's definitely not over yet. This extra doubled pawn is in fact going to matter. It doesn't look like it matters right now, but it will matter. I actually think 1+1 Fabi should... He's not going to be a favorite. I don't think he's going to be a favorite. But 1+0, this would be a completely different situation. 1+1, not sure. Not sure. And by the way, I think Fabi is slowly getting back into this game. Maybe even g4 right now. g6 followed by h5. Yep. Good move. Very good move. Create some problems. Create a weakness in the position for white. He might save this. Oh, 1+0 would be very scary. Yes. 1+0 is very scary. I don't like this. King c5, h5. Okay. What? Okay. b5 might be problematic. Actually, b5 is a big problem right now. Yeah. It's one of those... It's such a crazy position. Rook endgames, so difficult. King c6 was also winning b7. Yeah, this is game over. Okay. Not a good end to this trip. To this 5+1 trip. But I think we might be at the end of it. I think this was the last one. This was the last game. So right now, Alireza 2 points in the lead. 4.5 to 2.5. Let me make sure that this is what we're getting right now. Let me make sure that we're getting a break. Yes, we do have a break right now. We do have a break right now, and they're going to start the 3+1 next. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Fabi needs a comeback in the 3+1. This is what comes next. 3+1. We believe Fabi will be back. Nevertheless, that's the next portion, and it will start soon. There is a break right now. It will start. Has it started already? Wait. No, we're getting some game reviews. I'm just trying to figure things out. We're getting some game reviews right now on the main channel. So it hasn't started yet. Okay. I'll be right back. Here we go, guys. We're still on a break before the next portion starts. So I'm ready to answer some questions. If you guys have any questions, I'm ready to answer them. We do have a small break, in fact 4 more minutes. Ask your questions. Anything you want to know about the future plans of myself and Fabi. Well, I'm not going to speak for Fabi, but future plans for CSQ, everything that will be coming, tournaments to follow for both of us. Anything that's on your mind, I'm here to answer your questions right now for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds before the next portion of this Speed Chess Championship match starts, the 3+1 portion. Do you think we will get Hans Magnus in Paris? Um, it's possible. You're basically one match away from that happening. Hans is going to have his hands full with Wesley, but look, he's shown good level so far. He's shown good level in online online events, so anything can happen. But at the same time, Wesley is a very difficult player to beat in this time formats. He has the experience over Hans, I would say. So Wesley must be a favorite, should be considered a favorite. But it's not going to be a walk in the park. And Magnus is always a favorite. I think he still has one match to go, but generally Magnus is always a favorite whenever he plays. Have you guys thought about doing more vlog style videos when together? Yeah, I mean, look, it's all about having the people. It's all about having the people, and the thing is, the Toronto vlogs, I would assume that's what you're referring to. Those were at the time where I was not having any other responsibilities. Like generally when we're together is because I'm doing commentary for, especially in the last few podcasts. I was at the same place at the same time with Fabi because I was doing commentary and he was playing. So I had other responsibilities. I really didn't have time to do the vlogging thing. So for that, we need more people travel with us. But yes, those are, I have to say, they're fun. They're fun to do. They're fun to do. And it did seem like they had a pretty good following as well. When is the next podcast? I think we're going to shoot something. We're going to film something maybe today or tomorrow. So definitely something will come in the next couple of days. There's a lot of things to be discussing. Do you find it hard to be impartial when I'm doing commentary for St. Louis Chess Club? When Fabi plays? No. 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 That's one thing that I pride myself in my professional attitude during commentary. So it doesn't really matter whether I'm doing commentary for our channel, for St. Louis. I've done commentary for Hikaru as well. I can be unbiased professional, and that's what I try to do. Do we ever get to chill with account live streams again? Probably not. Do you guys have a list or ideas of new people to join you on the podcast? We always have ideas in mind, ideas of things that need to be considered, things that need to be discussed, guests that are cool to listen to. But that's basically what we're trying to go for. Just the guests that are cool to listen to, that have a story, have something to tell the world, tell the chess world. And yeah, that's what we usually go for. Have you thought about doing a jiu-jitsu video with yourself or with Fabi? I like that idea. I've thought about it. A members only video. Yes, we don't have that set up. We don't have the infrastructure for a members only. But it's definitely, I did think about it. Who the heck is Mukbang? What's a Mukbang podcast? Am I being baited? This sounds like some baiting stuff. By the way, how are we doing on time? Have the games started? Oh, the games have started. You guys. I don't know what mukbang is, but the games have started. So here we go. 3+1. Fabi needs to bounce back from a 2-point deficit. Sorry about missing the first few moves of this one. I was engrossed in chatting. Do we play each other often? We've played each other quite a lot. Yes, quite a lot. We play each other quite a lot, especially when we train for a specific tournament. Like this year has been extremely active when it came to preparation because we were training for the candidates. So yes, we played a lot against each other. Rook to d1. Fabi's looking good. I don't like this bishop g5. h6, bishop h4, g5, c4. Okay. Queen a4 maybe? Is he worried about knight takes c5? Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about knight takes c5. Knight e5, queen d7, knight takes d7, and something bad is going to happen on the e file after knight d4. Maybe this is something that Alireza shouldn't have played. Bishop h4 is met by g5, so that's problematic. You have to go back to e3 most likely, or f4. h6 was a good move. Good move. Mukbang is a live-streamed video where a host eats large quantities of food while interacting with their audience. I had no idea. You're telling me something new. You're teaching me new things. I had no idea what mukbang meant. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. By the way, knight b5 is coming. This is Fabi's idea. Knight b5, knight c7, you're going to have some problems defending against that. Yep. This one is starting to look good. This one is starting to look good. King d8 is more or less forced right now. More or less forced. What? You're giving me the exchange? This cannot be good, right? This really cannot be good. Yeah, knight c7, knight takes a8. You can also take on c5 first. Yeah. Has to be good. I mean, look, maybe black has some chances of surviving, but with no time on the clock, this is not going to be easy. Rook d4, bishop f3, rook d1, put pressure on the d file. The first American future world champion would be a great guest. I'm assuming you're referring to Hans. I don't think Hans wants to come on the podcast. Nor I'm also not sure whether. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. But what's the point of this mukbang? Like, what's the point of eating during a podcast? Isn't that... I'm eating right now, which is a bit strange. But I have to eat. I'm actually hungry. I'm not trying to do mukbang. I'm just hungry. Good move. Report would definitely be interesting, but he doesn't do podcasts. He doesn't do a lot of media appearances. Look, I would love to have Rapport. I know Richie quite well. I've even tried to have him at my university. I've tried to recruit him at Mizzou. But And that was a few years back, before he kind of made that push to 2750. Now he's a superstar, more or less. Yeah, Rapport would be awesome. He doesn't really do podcasts. I don't like this. No. This was a really, really bad decision. This was a very bad decision. Fabi might actually be worse right now. This is painful. This is actually very unpleasant. I'm not happy at all with what just happened. I am not happy. 5 seconds. 5 seconds each. Try to make a draw right now is what you should be doing. Okay, take on d3. No, take on d3. Take on d3. You should have taken on d3. Okay, rook a7. Rook a7, right? Rook takes d3. Okay. Yeah, this should be a draw. This should be a draw. Okay, king g5, king e5. Okay. If anybody should... Okay. Just a draw. Missed opportunity. Big missed opportunity. This was Fabi's to win. This was Fabi's to win. But to be honest, towards the end, it was Alireza's game. So perhaps things evened out. Cemento Knight. Yeah. No. Things, people enjoy watching people stuff their face to feel better about themselves, is my only guess. I don't know. I guess so. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I actually haven't thought about that. It's an interesting concept. Mukbang. I'll look into it. All I can say is that I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to propose this to Fabiano. It's not like the food truck, yeah? The food truck type of videos. Because that I know. I've watched occasionally food truck type interviews. Like people go to the food truck. Like there's a thing, food truck diaries, I think. Knight to d4. Let's go. You've been playing the Rosolimo. Very good. Rosolimo is a good opening. With both colors, by the way. White-black doesn't really matter. Rosolimo is good. I don't think it's Fabi who plays the Rosolimo. I think everybody plays the Rosolimo with both colors. Two bishops versus two knights. In this case, especially with the king on f8, I sort of like the two knights. But actually, the two knights followed by, yeah, d4 is coming. Oh man, this is not looking good. This one is not looking good. An unfortunate situation. Definitely Alireza better right now. Not winning, but better. Twitch channel, I will post it right now. Give me just 1 second. Let me see if I can do that. I will post the Twitch channel. There we go. And I've pinned it. So if you want to go follow on Twitch, if you're a Twitch person, mostly, That's the place to be. That's the place to be. We really need Fabi to equalize before 1+1. Yes. That would be good. I'm just a little bit worried that Alireza might take... He's in a very good position to take a 3-point lead right now. The king is very weak. You need a lot of time to get to h7. At the same time, white needs to find a way. White needs to find a way to create something. Rook c6 and just the simple rook takes b6 seems to be the best way to do it. Rook c6, rook c8 might be what Fabi is going for. Might be what Fabi is going for. The problem is, rook c6, rook c8, rook e6, rook c3, knight c3, bishop takes e6, and knight takes a4 at the end of it. And that would be an extra pawn. So queen to b3 is what he goes for. Good move. Good move. Defend the pawn on b6. Rook b6. I guess he wants to go rook c8 followed by rook c2. Is that his plan? What is the plan? This bishop needs to find a way to get in the game. Go f6. Fabi has to go f6. h4, h3. Needs to create something. Needs to create something. This is a big problem right now. There's just simply no play. King e8, knight c5 is coming. Bishop e8, hide, tuck the bishop in. Perhaps a good idea, but now one of the bishops falls. Yeah, no. This one is not going our way, guys. This one is not going our way. White has the extra pawn and the compensation. Bishop on e8, very badly placed. There's nobody on the dark squares anymore. No more bishop on the dark squares. Yeah, not looking great. But maybe Fabi is going to find a way. Maybe he will find a way. h3, let's go. 40 seconds against 20 seconds. Get Alireza down to his last few seconds. It's not over. This is definitely not over. The problem is Alireza really plays well. Alireza right now is finding the best moves. Pretty much every single time he's being asked a difficult question, he's responding very well. Rook h4, let's go. Bishop a4, what? Rook g1 might be... I mean, he's playing the best moves. Alireza is just... He's in the zone. Right now, he's in the zone. Not over yet. The bishop comes to d5. At least you found a very good spot for the bishop. If you can get the pawn on b2 somehow, or one of the b pawns. King g6, okay, down the last 10 seconds. Rook a2, he's probably gonna go b6, b7, but then you take and then you put the bishop on. Yeah, this was probably a good move. Rook to b4 is a problem. You're giving up the f3 pawn, but the b pawn is running. And now you're kind of stuck. Bishop d5, king e3, just simply push up on the dark squares. Okay, not good. 3 points deficit. 3 points deficit. We need some wins, boys. We need some victories right now. We need some big victories. Or this match is slipping away. And I don't want to see it slipping away. Fabi needs to score right now. It is high time. 6-3. That's too big of a deficit. That's too big of a deficit. Fabi right now, and we've seen him bounce back. He was on a 2-point deficit, cut that to even. Now back to 3. He needs to get some wins right now. We need to get some action. We need to get some action. We need to get some energy in the chat. Send your energy right now in the chat. I see some people like the mukbang theory and like the mukbang idea. Some people really hate it. Hello, Casey. In the Twitch chat. And welcome to all the new followers. Yeah, Alireza is really playing a good match right now. The last few games he's played splendid chess. Outside of a few hiccups, I have to say he's been in control. So definitely Fabi needs to play a bit more precise, a bit tighter chess right now. Castle. The thing is, also when you start winning games, like Alireza is right now, he's starting to feel good. He's really starting to feel good about himself. and that's dangerous. That is dangerous. But I like this transition. You have to take on f2, most likely. You don't have time to defend the pawn on d3. And now I'm just simply a pawn up. And if you don't find the compensation, and I'm not really sure the compensation is as clear, you go knight e4, I go king b4. I can still go king b4. I can start with rook f1 as well. Actually, rook f1. I like rook f1. Rook f1 right now. Knight e4, king b4. Rook takes b2 and then rook f7. So I'm going to lose the pawn on b2, but I'm going to invade on the 7th rank. I'm going to have more active pieces. That's the plan right now. That's what Fabi should be striving for. Rook f1. Great move. Great move. Take, take, and rook f1. Keep going. Yes. Excellent move. Excellent move. Excellent move. Excellent transition. I'm reading all the comments. Twitch and YouTube. Rook f8, rook f7, pick up the pawn on g7. That's the way to do it. Yep. Yep, rook f7, rook g7. That's still an extra pawn for white. That's still... look, a pawn is a pawn. A pawn is a pawn. It's very far from a conversion situation. You're still not winning or anything of that nature, but a pawn is a pawn, especially with the last minute pending right now. Rook g6. Kick the king back. He's not going to go to e5. If he goes to e5, I think rook g5 is a problem. Kick the king back. Rook g6, force the king to go back and centralize the bishop. Go bishop to d5. Yes, bishop d5. Control knight e4, control everything, and now you're going to support that. You're supporting the push. King c4. King c4. Kick this knight back. Yes, yes, yes. I'm starting to like it. b4. Do we like this move? b4, knight a4 is an option. Knight d7 is an option. He's probably going to go knight d7. If I were Alireza, I would go knight d7. But I'm not Alireza. Alireza is a bit stronger. So he's probably going to play the best move, which is knight e4. Knight a4. Knight a4 is the best move. Knight d7, knight d6. This is it. This is game over. This is actually game over right now. Check and rook g7. And you don't have any defense on the 7th rank. If Fabiano finds this, I think he's going to find it. I think he's going to find it. Check, king a7, rook g7. The idea, yes, take on e6, rook b7, king a8, rook g7. This is the calculation. That's discovery check on a8. You take my bishop on d5 and I take the rook on g3. He needs to find... No! King d4 is fine as well. Wins also. Yeah. Nice. Well needed victory. There's no way he doesn't win this one. I hope I'm not going to jinx it, but there's no way he doesn't win this one. No way. Yeah, the knight is actually trapped. Knight e8, rook e7, knight h5, rook g5, the knight is trapped. A very important victory. Very important big victory. Here we go, back in the game. Back in the match. 2-point deficit. With plenty of games to go. We're in this. We're in this, baby. We are in this. We need this win like yesterday. Yes, we did, and yes, we got it. Yes, we did, and yes, we got it. Let's get another one. Let's get another one. We need another win right now. Send that energy in the chat, guys. We got the Dark Archangel. The chessable course is ready to be displayed at the highest level. If you don't know what the chessable course is, just check Fabi's name on Chessable. You'll find the course for sure. And if you want to play the Rui like Fabi, you might consider buying it. But anyway, Fabi's playing fast. Fabi knows exactly what he's doing right now. This is the Rui. This is his domain. This is his domain. He did not have worse positions out of the opening in the Archangels or just general Rui complexes. Yes, this is a bit different. This is not the Dark Archangels. This is more like a Chigorin style. But yes, it does seem like Fabi knows what he's doing right now as well. Though the engine, for whatever reason, really did not like the last move, bishop to c6. Bishop g5, best move in the position, trying to eliminate this knight on f6. Knight on f6 is very powerful because it does put a lot of pressure on this central pawn. Pawn on e4, highly important pawn in White's complex, in White's system. Because whenever you take on c4, whenever these two pawns get traded off, then the pawn on e4 is going to be weak. If you eliminate the knight, then you're going to be able to just win the pawn when he takes e4. And what black wants to do is, what black does not want to do, in fact, is to take on d3. Because if you take, that's exchange the pawns, but on White's terms, which means that White is going to have a long-lasting pressure on b5, given by the queen and the knight on a3, but also on the d file, given by the doubling of the queen and the rook on the d file. So it's a bit problematic if you take on d3. That's why Fabi goes rook to b8, does not want to trade. Knight to c2, heading to b4, or perhaps c3, but most likely on b4, and then d5. Still Alireza to be preferred right now, but perhaps let's try to get some clarity on that side. Go h6. Yes, he does h6. Very good move. Now, will Alireza transition? Bishop takes f6, take on f6, and try to go knight b4, knight d5, or go bishop h4. He decides to keep the bishop, keep the pressure, keep the tension on this diagonal. Perhaps the right practical decision. Knight to e8, knight c7 is a plan that I like in the position. We exchange this. Bishop a8 just simply doesn't look good. But he's trying to meet knight to b4 with knight to c6 perhaps. Or maybe rook c8. Rook c8 is a move that I like. Rook c8 is the move that I like. I really don't like this knight c6, knight a6, hitting my rook on b8. I don't like this face-off between the rook and the knight on the b file. I want to see the rook on the c file. It controls way more squares. Rook c8, he plays it. He plays it. Very tense middle game right now. Take the pawn. Don't allow white to exchange. No. I don't like this exchange. Bishop takes c4. He's probably going to take with a rook, right? I guess this is what he wants. But now just the simple take, and maybe even knight to d5. This knight against bishop on f6 definitely going to favor white. Knight f1. The second knight is going towards d5. You cannot, however, put the second knight on d5 because you go knight e3, I take on d5. So go queen d7. Queen d7. Queen c8. Queen d3. Yeah, this is not great. This is not a fun position. It's not one of those fun positions. It's one of those positions in which you show your tenacity, but that's not something we generally want to do when we play chess. We don't like to suffer. We don't like to suffer. We don't like to show our tenacity. We don't like to show our defensive skills. If possible, we would love to just keep on attacking, keep having better positions. That's not one of those cases. It's just a very unpleasant suffering situation. Give the bishop a job. Give the bishop a job. Go bishop h4 or something. Okay, take. b4 is what you want to play. The problem is you have to defend f7 first. So go rook c7. Not much else to do. Okay, rook to b7 to control the b file. Rook to b8. d5. Okay, Fabi's going for something. I'm not sure what, but he's going for something. Rook b8. Let's go. Okay, I can see some sort of compensation. I see some sort of practical compensation right now. Still a pawn down, still a tough situation. But there is some compensation. Rook c5, try to target the knight. h5, try to cement. h4, yes. Can't say I don't like this transition. King h7. Knight c6, wait, rook d6, what is this? White, okay, check, give a check. Now we're entering some crazy territory. Crazy territory, guys. Rook d5, rook a1, he's going for the checkmate. Let's go! Let's give a checkmate with just the rooks. Why not? Ah, he missed this. This knight on f3 covers absolutely everything. Oh man, he was so close. He was actually very close. If he would have taken on e5 first and then rook h1, great chances to defend. Kudos to Alireza. Back to 3 points. Back to 3 points, and I think we're going to get a break right now. I think we're getting a break. Tough. Tough. So basically what I was saying is here, take on e5 first. I think this is the way. Take on e5, take on e5, I don't know with what. Let's say with this rook. You have to defend against a rook h5. And this is basically why he didn't go for it. Understandably so, because he had 4 seconds. You have to go g6 and maybe you have time to go rook h1 followed by rook g1 and then rook takes h3. I'm doing some mukbang inspired by the chats. I'm doing some mukbang. Let's see how much time on the clock. It doesn't say. But we have a 4-minute break. 7 to 4 right now for Alireza. Still some time on the clock on the 3+1. Hope you guys are enjoying the first CSQ mukbang stream. Thanks once again, everybody, for the follows on Twitch. Close to 250 followers, and this is our first stream only. So lots of support so far. Definitely appreciated. Definitely going to push us to continue. You have 3 minutes before the next game starts. Ask me any questions. Any questions, I'm here to answer. Twitch, YouTube, wherever you are. Nimzo Indian or Semislav? Nimzo. Wait, Fabi's not in his prime? Space Juice. What do you mean? What do you mean prime Fabi would smoke the hell out of Alireza? I think this is his prime. I actually think Fabi's years are not behind him. I would say that he's probably in his prime. I mean, look, he's winning a lot of tournaments. A lot of Rapid and Blitz tournaments as well. I think he's number 2 in the world in Blitz or Rapid, one of them. I don't remember exactly which one. I might be wrong. In fact, I will tell you in just a second. Why is my mouse? Hey, chess.com. My mouse has disappeared. Oh my goodness. I'm not becoming a Kramnik, am I? Guys, my mouse actually disappeared. I'm starting to believe Kramnik. Chess.com is doing something. I'm not even playing, but Chess.com is messing with my mouse. I'm joking, obviously. Don't kick me out of the platform, Chess.com. Let's try to find where Fabi is in the world rankings. But my mouse disappeared, so it's gonna... Come on. Oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done? Okay, wait. Okay, I got my mouse back. I hope I didn't lose you guys. I had to go into the task manager to get my mouse back. Chess.com was messing with my mouse. What is your opinion on the current Magnus Hans drama? What Magnus Hans drama? What Magnus Hans drama? So Fabi's number 3 in Rapid and number 5 in Blitz as of right now. Firuja is number 2 in Blitz and number 13 in Rapid. Classical, we know. Firuja is a little bit down on number 9 and Fabi number 3 right now. So I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult to gauge prime, I guess. Like how do you even do that? Where are you in your prime? I mean, he's still pretty high up there. So I don't see it yet. I don't see this. Oh, this is no longer prime Fabi. type of situation. Magnus refused to play Hans 3 or 4 times in the past 48 hours. I mean, Magnus obviously has his thoughts on Hans. He's very adamant about it. He's very confident in what he believes about Hans. And so he doesn't want to generally play him, especially when he doesn't have to. And in a team competition, you can take breaks. Like, for example, Magnus didn't play the first 2 games at the World Rapid and Blitz. Team World Rapid and Blitz. The tournament that you were talking about. But again, obviously, those first couple of games were against not so good teams, so the team could afford not having Magnus. Obviously, when they played Hans's team, normally, in normal circumstances, they would have played the best team, which means Magnus would play. And obviously, he refused to do so. Not refuse, he just said to Jan Gustafsson, who was the captain of the team, probably told him, look, I don't want to play Nepo on board 1. What to do? They still won handily against Hans's team. But yeah, I mean, that's just the way it goes. He believes something. He's entitled to believe whatever he believes about Hans. A lot of people do believe those type of things about Hans. And that was his decision. He's not going to be able to dodge him if they both qualify to the Speedchess Championship. Like, that's basically what it comes down to. If they both win their respective matches in the semifinals, in the quarterfinals, they will meet in Paris. Unless Magnus decides to withdraw from the tournament, which I don't think is going to be the case. But yeah, I guess whenever he can, he's just simply going to refuse to play. Could it be that he's doing it intentionally to create more drama? I don't think he cares too much about drama necessarily. So no, he just, out of principle. The way he sees this, it's a principled decision, in his opinion. Again, that's his opinion. Rook to d6, good move by Alireza. Look, he's really playing well. Rook to d6 was very important to make space for the queen to drop back to d8. The simple bishop e6, which would have been very natural, just loses after b4. b4, take, and you don't have where to put a queen. You go to b5, I go knight c7. You lose. So rook d6 was a very precise move. Alireza is playing good. Is playing good chess right now. Yeah, again, we're basically one match away from seeing Magnus versus Hans in over-the-board chess. Magnus needs to beat Arjun. Hans needs to beat Wesley. Obviously, one is more likely to happen than the other, but that's the situation we're seeing right now. What does Fabi need to do to win this match? He needs to win some games. Yeah, it's simple as that. The match is not over. There's still plenty of games, but you need to start winning because you're 3 points down. There's no complex explanation to what Fabi needs to do to win this match. He needs to win some games. He's been having good positions. He's failing to convert some. He failed to convert a few advantages. Generally, whenever it comes down to the last 10 seconds with a complex position, that's when the difference is being made. And in general, whenever we see those type of situations, it's Alireza who's playing the better chess. So Fabi needs to keep his composure right now, understand that this match is not over, and take it from there. Win a game, get some confidence back, avoid a tilt. Very important, because it's very easy to get on tilt in this type of matches. Avoid the tilt and get some wins, and that's about it. That's the key to victory. That's the key to victory. Okay. I'm seeing some, I wouldn't call them chances necessarily, because the position is extremely, extremely equal. But I'm seeing some, I don't like this h4, allowing h5. h5 just basically kills everything. Any sort of g4 ideas. Put a pin. Maybe go g4. 97. At g4. At some point you have to go g4. If you want to have any hopes and dreams, you have to go g4, king g3, king f4. I want to say right now, yeah, not after this move. I was going to say that only white has chances to win, but after this move, this is just a very easy draw. There's nothing. Yeah, rook d6, they're going to do a repetition. And maybe Alireza will try to milk the clock right now. No, never mind. He doesn't milk the clock. Hikaru would have milked the clock. Because it was impossible to lose that with either color. So what he would have done, he would have probably just waited until he goes down on his last 10 seconds and then just shuffle the rooks, basically the same thing. Another Ruy Lopez, another Archangels. Let's see that that chess ball course preparation. Let's see the chess ball course preparation, guys. When is the next podcast coming? Most likely later this week. So in the next couple of days, I think we're going to have a podcast. Then we're going to try to do something. Before the Rapid and Blitz starts in St. Louis, maybe we'll do something in person. I'm going to go to St. Louis. I'm going to be doing commentary, so maybe we can film something before the tournament starts. And then probably another one after St. Louis Rapid and Blitz. That's the plan. The thing is, every single draw favors Alireza at this point. Every single draw, every single split of the point favors Alireza. I like this move h6. We were seeing a lot of problems with knight g5, bishop g5. A lot of problems related to the g5 square. Take that away. I like this move h6. Do you have any degree outside of chess? I don't... What does that even mean? You mean like study degree? Do you mean... What type of degree are you talking about? I have degrees. '97. It's an interesting question. You guys are starting with the thought-provoking questions. Why are you drinking out of a jar? What was your reputation in high school? What are your degrees? Thought-provoking questions. Um, the last few moves were not great. The last few moves were not great. Right now, white has the advantage. There's some pressure going on b5. You don't have corresponding pressure on b4. So it is a little bit unpleasant. Get g5 in. Get g5, get g4. Try to do something on the king side. Chat is next level IQ right now. Correct. We're talking about degrees here. Let's go. G5. I like this. I like this. I like this. Queen b6. Get this queen on this diagonal. It's a very unpleasant diagonal to deal with, actually. Because whenever you move this rook, you still will have to contend with some pressure on this a7 g1 diagonal. It's a position that resembles very much a King's Indian attack on the king side. At least that's how it feels. It's not the King's, very far from that, but it feels like that right now. And you see some pressure on dark squares in the King's Indian as well. It just feels like it. So I'm liking black. Fabi needs a win. Fabi needs a win right now. This is a golden opportunity to get it. In balanced position, practically easier to play for black with the attack coming. And you can see the mistake already popping into position. Knight c6, pick it up, take the pawn. Take the pawn, pawn up, pressure, queen b6, queen d7, support g4. Fabi's still in control right now. But queen d7 was not the right direction. Not the right direction, because g4 is going to be met by knight h4, knight f5. This is a bit problematic. Wait a minute. Does he have knight takes g5? This would be a bit of an issue. This would be a bit of an issue. Let's hope he doesn't. Man, he sees everything. Alireza really is seeing everything right now. It's very difficult to play against him. He really pounces, even with no time, on every single opportunity he gets. Like, he calculates so well right now. It's a bit scary. Like, he makes the best decisions under time trouble, which is not easy. It's a really difficult thing to do. g4, rook f8. It's fine. It's fine. I still like black. Forget about the engine. I still like black. I did not like this, giving up this pawn. I did not like giving up this pawn. f3, knight d4. Knight d4. Yes. Yes, yes. Rook c7, things are getting a bit crazy. Knight takes f3. Take, rook c7. Rook f7, yes. Might be a draw. Let's see, maybe Alireza gets excited. Rook f7. Nah, he's probably going to go for a draw. Yeah. Yeah, that's an escape for Alireza. But a very well played game. From both players. This was a very well played game. Still some more 3+1. I don't know how many we have left. I don't know how much time we have on the clock. Let me see. Let me check. I will let you know how much time we have on the clock left of the 3+1 portion. 6 minutes. So this is basically the last game. I think this is the last 3+1 game. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. This is probably the last game. There could be another one if this one finishes fast, but normally this one would be the last game under normal circumstances. So Fabi needs to get at least one victory. He needs to enter the bullet section a point behind. Maybe 2 points behind. Not 3 points behind. 3 points or more would be really bad. My favorite Nimzo. I like Nimzo with f3. Actually, the one that something similar to the one that we're seeing right now. This is with e3, but it kind of transitioned into one of those type of f3 type of Nimzos. And this is something that Fabi really enjoys playing also. Thoughts on you guys. Rook c8. Take on d4, taking on c4 is starting to become a problem. So you have to go for a d5 right now. Good move. d5. If you go e5, and this is the key to this position, if a black goes e5, f4 is coming, and I would assume that's actually what could happen in the position. e5, f4, and then d6, something like this. But Alireza goes, no, f6. Good move by Alireza. And f4, immediately played by Fabi. Now you have to go e5. You've got this opportunity to go e5. You have to go e5. You have to go e5. e5, knight takes c4, drop the bishop back to c2, pin the knight on c4 like that, and then you're going to force some reactions. Like, we're looking at this type of reactions. You have to close things up for white against white's attack, and then I can just simply go d6. Yeah, e5 is on the board. Knight c4, just simply drop back. Drop back. Do not allow knight takes c3, obviously. You cannot allow knight takes c3. Knight takes c3, this is basically what you're playing for. He's thinking about taking on f6. Bishop f2, good move. Alireza is probably going to close shop on that side with f5. It feels like he has to. If he allows this pin with bishop h4, he's in trouble. So he goes for f5. And now Fabi has to go d6. Don't take on e6. That's going to open up the d file, and that's going to be in black's favor. Go d6. Put that thorn in black's position. Insert that thorn in black's position. Yes, yes, yes. Good move. d6 is a nice move. Nice looking move. I think he's going to go for b5. b5, a4, and he might actually be already in trouble. Okay, let's get the knight to g5. I like knight g5. I'm calling for knight g5. I'm calling for knight g5. Let's see if he plays it. Or a4. a4 to stop b5 is also a very normal move. He plays a4, queen g5. Queen g6. Do you want... Yeah, knight... I was thinking about this move. The problem is h6, knight f3, and queen g4. How do you deal with this f4 threat? And is it annoying? And I think it's a little bit annoying. Again, we're going down to the last 50 seconds. And right now on the game clock, we have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. So he really needs this win. h4, good move, good move, good move, good move. Good move. Don't take on c4 because of h6. Bishop d5. h5 is fine. Queen e8, king h2, rook g1, g4. That's the plan. King h2, rook g1, and a g4. g4 straight up. Holy smokes. Fabi is ready to fight. Fabi's ready to fight. Maybe not the right decision, but it's too late to ask questions right now. If you take on g4, what he wants is most likely bishop g6. No, he wants to go this, knight. Okay, bishop h4. You have to sacrifice the exchange now. Rook takes f1. Bishop g6. Bishop c4 is probably what he wants. Rook f5 is a very annoying move. Man, he finds everything. The thing is, bishop takes f5, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see opposite color bishops, because the bishop on e6 is going to be so powerful. Black is going to have such tremendous play on the light squares. Alireza just finds everything. It's very tough to play against him right now. It's very disheartening. He's just playing the best moves and finding the best resources in the position. And Fabi's like, look, I'm losing this one, but I'm playing the game clock. And the game clock says that I have 6 seconds left, so I have to, yes, good decision. By the way, tremendous decision. Tremendous decision to get one more game in. One more 3+1. But right now a 4-point deficit, tough. Very tough. Very tough. But that was a good decision. That was a good decision by Fabi. What's the shortened duration of the Speeches Championship? Like from what to what? Because I actually don't know the details. Fabi's looking for a fight. H6, he's saying, let's go. Nothing to lose at this point. The match is not going my way. No more Rui Lopez. It's time for some crazy stuff. It's time for some crazy stuff. Knight c5, okay. Going for e4. Some pressure. Fabio on tilt. It could be. I mean, it's very easy to get on tilt right now. Given the way the score progresses, it's very easy to get on tilt. And again, the games were not bad. Alireza just right now plays really well. Again, I've been drilling on this point. He's been playing very precise chess. And that's what happens. Sometimes Alireza gets in the groove. He's a very groovy player. He's a very streaky player. When he gets in the groove, he can be one of the most dangerous players in the world. One of the most, I mean, you cannot say the most dangerous player in the world, because everybody is dangerous when they're in good shape. But Alireza, his calculation is good. His speed is tremendous. And when his intuition is at his best, that's when he gets very, very, very difficult to fight against. When will Fabi challenge Pang Bo? Pang Bo, Chinese superstar, unrated, no FIDE games ever played. But you could easily see from the first couple of games that he's at least around 2100 level player. Look, I mean, he likes playing online. His generation, he's a new wave generation type of player. He grew playing online chess. He loves playing online chess. He loves playing fast time controls. So it's just normal that Alireza is going to be one of the favorites in the Speed Chess Championship. Champion Chess Tour, Speed Chess Championship, everything that happens online, he's going to be very dangerous. I see some comments in the Twitch chat. He's taking a laughing revenge. It's interesting, right? He's talking about that moment when Fabi smiled at his miniature victory, where he won in like 9 moves. Very beautiful. But again, and he talked about it in the podcast, you don't get to see those type. You don't get to play those type of miniatures very often, and you maybe get it once in a lifetime to play it against such a strong player, and not in like some sort of a random blitz game at home, like something that can be seen by the world. It's cool. It's a cool thing. It's a cool display. I mean, we've all fell for those type of tactics whenever you play casual games, but in competition, it happens very rarely, very, very rarely. Need a Kramnik procedure against Bo. No. I mean, look, I've never played in China, but I've heard stories. I've heard plenty of stories of people losing their rating in China. Losing their rating in China or losing their rating in India. Those are 2 places in the world where you lose your rating. That's because there's so many underrated players. And Pang Bo was one of them. He hasn't played a single rated game in his life, but you could easily see that he's a 2200 level player after the first couple of games. The Chinese league is a great place to lose rating. Exactly. E4. E4. Now it's over. Rook b7. Yeah, that's some tilt. That's a little bit of tilt. Ouch. Okay, guys. The 3+1 is over. Time for a miracle. A miracle is what we need. A miracle is what we need. 25 minutes of 1+1. You're basically in a must-win situation. You have, I don't know. I don't know what's the score. I don't know how many games they usually play in 1+1. He needs something like 8-2 if they play, let's say, 10 games. 1+1, 10 games. Let's say 12 games. The best possible scenario, you get 12 games. Though I think very rarely you will get 12 games. I think 10 games is pretty much the max. So if you get 10 games, you have to win 9-4. Sorry, what am I talking about? 8-2? I guess you have to win 8-2. If you get 10 games, you have to win 8-2. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's not going to be an easy task. But the motivation speaker inside of me says, it was never going to be easy. We got this. It's tough. It's a tough situation. It really is a tough situation. From an objective point of view right now, Fabi is in a tough situation. Tough spot. Tough spot. You especially won't get 12 games when one of the players knows he just has to kill the clock. Yeah, I remember 12 games was usually happening whenever you were getting 30 minutes. But now that some people already told me that you're only getting 25 minutes, then you're in basically like an A2 type of territory. And you will get lucky, I think, if you get them games. I think you're lucky if you get them games. Look, yes, Alireza is very good. The one good thing, the one thing working for Fabi right now is that it's 1+1 and not 1+0. 1+0, Alireza is great. 1+1 is a different game. Probably less games. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably less games. Okay, let's see how we're doing. How we're doing on the clock.
We had the bullet.
It doesn't say how much of a break we have right now. 4 minutes. All right, guys. Ask me anything. Ask me anything for the next 4 minutes. And then the final portion will be starting the 25 minutes of 1+1. I'm ready. I'm ready for your questions. Fabi seems to be depressed. Not like his old self. That's not something that I can I can answer. I don't think that's the case. In fact, I think he's much more, especially when it comes to social appearances and public appearances, I think he's much more easygoing and much more socializing. Why am I drinking from a jar? I just like the taste of water coming from a glass jar. Gives me hope for humanity. When did you first start playing chess? Many years ago. Too many years ago. 25 years. What am I talking about? Not even 25. More than 25 years ago. Holy smokes. I've played chess for more than a quarter of a century. I don't know if that's a sad thing or not. Chava, you mean during the podcasts, you want like a better camera or what do you want? Better camera, a better mic? What do you want? How did Fabi meet the bras? How do you not get burned out by it? That's a good question, actually. I mean, I don't play it as much. Like, I'm within the chess world. I'm doing commentary nowadays. I'm coaching. That's my main job. I don't play it as much. If I would be playing it, only playing it for like 25, 20, whatever plus years, I think probably I would get somewhat burned out. But I don't know. There's many things that go into it. I like what I'm doing. I like my jobs. I like being in the chess world. Maybe it's a comfort thing. Maybe it's something that I've gotten used to. Maybe it's my comfort zone. Maybe I should be getting out. I don't know. There's so many questions, but I've stayed within chess world after I finished my degree. Speaking of degrees, at the university, and I'm very happy with that decision. I don't rehearse my lines at all because I don't play that much. I don't play much at all. Oh, yes. The chess pays the bills. Yes. The chess definitely pays the bills. Again, I'm very fortunate to be in a good position within the chess world, to have a lot of opportunities to be able to work within the chess world. Yeah. I'm not, I'm very fortunate in that regard. Am I following the Paris Olympics? No. No, I'm not following the Paris Olympics. I'm only seeing the highlights. I'm following the highlights. We're just about to start the 1+1. So you guys are getting close to your question portion of the stream. Wait. Wait, what's happening? Why is it saying final score? I'm saying final score in the chat. Wait. There's still gonna be the 1+1 portion, right? This is not the end. I'm saying final score, but I don't think that's the case. I'm not sure. No, I don't think he. No. He didn't. Okay, here we go. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. 1+1, baby. We need a big score. We need a miracle right now. Let's go. 1+1. Fabi needs to win a lot of games. 5-point deficit. I don't think has ever been done before. I don't think this type of deficit, especially when facing such a mighty opponent, has ever been done before in the history of the Speed Chess Championship. But we have to fight. We have to fight. Life is all about fighting. You have to fight until the end. That's exactly what Fabi is about to do. And it would help if he starts off with a victory. It would really help if he starts off with a victory right now. Do you agree with Gusti that top players rarely do mechanical memorization? I'm not really sure what you mean by mechanical memorization. I would need to be given a more comprehensive explanation of what you mean by that. Like just going through the moves, like not thinking about it when you're going through the moves, when you're repeating your lines, not really thinking about what you're repeating. Is that what mechanical memorization means? I just don't know. I don't think you should allow bishop takes b5, by the way. Bishop takes b5 taken, knight c7 just doesn't feel right. It really doesn't feel right. Okay. That's just a pawn. Why did he give up a pawn? a5, okay. f4, okay. Still not over by any means. A pawn to the good for black, but it's one of those very difficult positions to assess. Queen f4, for example, right now. Queen d4. Queen takes b6, maybe. Bishop takes f5, okay. The engine really hates that. f3, don't take on f3, you get checkmate on g1. Knight e3, good move, good move. Defend on g2, also open up the defense on the first rank. Good move, knight e3, perhaps something that was missed by Alireza. Bishop b6, bishop h3, no, no. Yeah, this was not good. Take, and probably knight f3. Queen to g5, set up this nasty... Wait. Queen takes b6. Things are moving very fast, so it's very difficult to... Rook f1, don't allow queen to b1. Queen to b1 is a big threat. Okay, at least you got a pawn. At least you got a pawn. Queen takes b5, bishop b6 maybe. Oh no, he's just going for the pawn. This is not over yet. This is definitely not over yet. There was a mate in 1. Instead of rook takes h4, queen takes g2 was mate in 1. It's still not looking great, but he's still somewhat in the... No, queen takes f5. What was that? Yeah, 6 points deficit. Now we're basically in must-win territory. This is probably must-win territory. If he loses another one, I have a feeling we might just see the match abruptly end. We might see this match abruptly end if this goes to 7 points deficit. Do I live in the US? Yes. I live in the US for many years. Many years. Yeah, this is just tilt right now. That's another pawn. That is another pawn. You cannot go 97 because of queen takes. Go b5, you're losing a pawn. Queen to b8 though. Bishop takes b5, bishop takes c4. Still in it. Rook c1 was a very bad move. Very bad move. Bishop b5, bishop takes c4. Okay, this is rook takes a3. Take. What's the idea? I'm trying to understand the idea. Maybe e5. e5 first. Rook takes a3. Oh, so he missed that. Queen to e3 was very important. Now, if you take, I just simply take back, and you don't have any squares on this diagonal to keep contact with the bishop on, with the knight on b6. So bishop b7, drop back, and then you're basically a pawn up. Black is a pawn up. e4, go for it. d5, queen c5, missed because right now you're giving back the pawn. That's not something that he wanted to see. And the thing is, right now Alireza also plays very fast, which is it's a bit unnerving. Rook takes c5, and he sees also everything. He just sees everything, like all of these small little tactics. Rook takes c5, queen takes c5. He sees all the tactics. It's very, very difficult to combat that. I mean, classical is still a completely different game. Classical is way different. You know, this type of speed chess, it's something, but it's not classical. It's a good move. Probably b6. In classical, there's so much preparation. There's so much that goes into the game before the game. This is much more intuitive. Okay. What? What was that? What was rook takes e2? Okay, he just played rook takes e2 with a second on his clock. So I wouldn't say he struggled necessarily. I mean, it's a completely different ball game. Classical is a different ball game. Much more less. What? Knight b5? That's just a pawn, Fabi. That's just a pawn. Okay, Fabi's... I think Fabi's ready to call this a match. I don't hate classical. I don't hate classical at all. In fact, I spend most of my time in chess in classical. Most of my preparation goes into classical. But yes, I don't hate classical. e5 is a problem. Tag the knight on d6. You move the knight bishop f5. Again, all these small little tactics immediately spotted. There's no way to defend the knight on d6. Queen d5 maybe the only way. Knight e7. Knight b4 might be a problem. Bishop f5. Yeah. Setting up this pin. Giving up on c6. The knight on c6. But problem is bishop takes b1. It's just an exchange. And then you're still losing the knight on d6 after queen takes 6. Yeah. That's it. This is game over. This is game over. I think right now it's just he's finishing the match, but the match is mathematically over. The match is right now, unfortunately, mathematically over. And Fabi probably knows it. There's only 15 minutes to go with an 8-point differential. I like it from a spectator's point of view. So I'm putting myself in the spectator's shoes right now. I don't have any problems. And also from a commentator's point of view. From a playing perspective, I very much prefer playing classical. But and I like playing classical more because I don't need to spend that much time on preparation before the games. Because at my level, and especially at my competitive situation right now, I'm playing it for fun. Whenever I play chess, I play for fun. Obviously, I'm still very much competitive in that regard. I still like to compete, but the result is not going to make a huge difference for me. Do I still do jiu-jitsu? Yes, of course. Of course. Knight to d4. Some tactics. Let's go. Knight d4, knight f3. Fabi feels there's something in the air. Yes, he found it. Prediction for Hans versus Wesley. Wesley should probably take this. Normally, Wesley would take this. Wesley is a very solid player when it comes to this time format. He's just really good. But Hans has been showing very good level in a lot of his matches as well. So, queen here. Okay, there has to be something, right? Just take bishop g6. Bishop g6, it's over. Yeah. c2 now, followed by d2. Okay, Fabi won. Fabi won a game. We're back to 7. We're back to 7 differential. Not much time left. Back to 7 differential. I'm not going to get very excited about it because, again, there's only 12 minutes to go. And unless Ali goes completely crazy, then this is pretty much over. Is Fabi in St. Louis? Yes. Will we ever see a podcast with Hans? I don't know. I don't know. We will have to wait and see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. How easy it is to get yourself out of a spiral mid-game mentally. It's not easy. Chess is very much psychology based. It's a very psychological game, and if you find yourself in a difficult moment, this is kind of what separates good players from the best. Is the best can really get out of that rut, really can change their mentality very quickly and swiftly, and whenever it's necessary, they do it. So they have that edge. They're very resilient, let's say, in that regard. So that's another skill, that's another skill that you need as a chess player. Okay, maybe h5. That pawn is going places, isn't it? h6, king g6, but maybe I can give you a check first. Okay, I can see some glimpse of hope. Knight c5. Glimpse of hope. Knight d7. h6, king g6. Still you cannot go h6. So basically I'm just going to keep my king on f5 for the time being. That's a strange dream to have. You are very weird, my friend. Navs. By the way, Fabi somehow got a winning position, but now he's back to not winning. He was winning for a second there. Not that, again, it doesn't really matter that much. Knight c4. If you go there, probably have to go there. Okay, good. Yeah, c7. Check and take on f6. Okay, queen h3. Queen h3. Checkmate in 1. Okay. Another win. Another win, guys. Back to 6 points. Back to 6 points. And the clock time is 8 minutes, less than 8 minutes. How is your relationship with Hans? I don't think we have a relation. I'm not sure we ever did. Hans does his own thing. Fair game. Fair game. Knight g4. By the way, bishop g4 was a move in that position. He decides to give up the pawn. Knight f4, okay. Fabi's basically just saying, okay, we have to do something. King h7 maybe. Try to stop this pawn. d3, all in. Go for the b2 pawn. Not much. There's not much compensation. But you do have a beautiful bishop on d4. When is the next episode? We'll see. Probably this week. The plan is for this week. Hopefully I'm going to be able to record something with Fabi soon. King h7. Queen f6 maybe. g4, good move. I like this move. Great move. Great move. Take, and then what? And then what? Queen f6. Maybe something like rook g8, rook g5. Rook g8 and rook g5 would be the dream, let's say. Question is, how do you get there? Now rook b7 is coming as well. Bishop d4. Pick up a pawn. Rook b7. Rook d1. Whoa, that's strange. That was a strange move. Again, it's bullet and doesn't really matter that much, but it was a strange move. Queen d3. Bishop f8. Bishop takes h6. You still cannot approach the h pawn, which is a bit problematic. So white, despite the fact that, yeah, white is still better. It's a very strange position. Knight b8. Let's go for this. No, not f5. Yeah, king d5. Knight c5. The king is... yeah. Okay. It's not that clear how you get me out. Probably like this. Go back and then you put the knight on b6. Nicely done. Nicely done. And I'm not sure, do we still have... we still have games. Four minutes on the clock. 4 minutes on the clock. More vlogs. Skills and knowledge in chess? What do you mean by that? I mean, skills obviously is extremely important, and knowledge is just as important. You cannot do anything without both. And at some point you reach a point where your skills have reached a certain point in which if your knowledge doesn't progress, if you don't learn new things, if you don't learn new openings, if you don't practice your new openings, then your skills are going to take you as far. So it's difficult. It's difficult to say in terms of percentages. I think you should always treat them as probably similarly valued. You should practice your... even though, now that I think about it, we as, especially grandmasters in general, we spend way more time, way more time. I would say maybe 90% of the time is spent on opening preparation and only 10% on general skill development, which is always, you know, it's debatable whether it's a good thing or not. whether we should spend more time. It's just, it's the prep is so important. Whenever you play classical, the prep is so important, and classical is still the most, let's say, viable product in the world of chess right now. Still the most prestigious. We've had a whole discussion on C squared on the pod. A whole discussion on the pod about this. It's still the most prestigious. Still the one that awards the most financial incentives for chess professionals. It's classical. The most tournaments, even not at the top level. I'm not a sweet guy. Never try to be one. It's not a good thing to be a sweet guy. What's happening here? Why is he sacrificing? Okay, this is a funny looking position. That's a funny looking position. Give a check. What is he doing? Okay, they're just having fun right now. Okay, 6 points. One more. I think this is the last one. This might be the last game, guys. 47 seconds left. This is the last game. Kudos to Alireza. Really played a good match. There is no reason to sugarcoat it. He played a better match than Fabi in this one. Prep means opening prep, yes. Opening prep is pretty much the most important and highly valued by chess professionals. Chess professionals spend, again, maybe 90% of their time on opening prep. And somehow, just for the simple fact that they play so much chess, there's so many tournaments happening, there's so much practice, they consider that the necessary preparation for middle games, for end games, the practice that you, the practical play reps that you need to get in. Knight f5, yeah, good move. So generally, whenever they play, they consider that the practical reps. That's why they don't spend as much time on middle game and end game play and preparation. I'm not saying, again, I don't think it's more important. I just think it's at a certain level is more valued. If you're talking about 2200s or 2100s or 1800s, that was it. That was it. Good match by Alireza. Congratulations. He played well. He played a very precise match. Took the right decisions in time trouble, and that's what made the difference. Still a great fight. Usually whenever these two meet, we get great fights, but Alireza showed that he's in good shape and booked his tickets to Paris. He lives in Paris. It's only going to be a stroll away from his home. So Alireza is the first semi-finalist of the Speed Chess Championship. Congratulations to him, guys. I think this might be it for me right now. I think we're finally ready to call it. This was the first Twitch stream, multi-stream. So wherever you guys are, if you are on YouTube, if you watch your streams on Twitch, wherever you guys are, you can get your dose of C-squared. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It was somewhat educational. It was somewhat fun. And you've had a good time. If that was the case, then don't forget, like, subscribe, and all the good stuff. Because more content is coming. More podcast episodes are coming. More streams Even more streams are coming. Guaranteed more streams will be coming your way. So make sure you go and hit that follow button on Twitch. Anyway, cheers, guys. That will be it for today. Until next time, don't forget, C squared.